In a world where stories are the essence of life, what if you could be part of creating the next great tale? Introducing Storybook, a community where your imagination comes to life. A place where writers, readers, and dreamers unite to create something extraordinary. With Storybook, your ideas, your stories, and your characters are more than just thoughts. They become part of a larger narrative. Less than 1 billion Storybook tokens are powered by the Ton blockchain. By holding book tokens, you gain the power to pitch ideas, give input, and even become a character in the stories you help create. Submit your stories, collaborate with other talented writers, and see your work come to life. Storybook isn't just about storytelling. It's about making your mark in a community that values creativity and innovation. From anthologies to graphic novels, from films to community-driven magazines, Storybook is where your ideas take flight and where your voice is heard. Become part of a movement where your creativity shapes the future of storytelling. Welcome to Storybook, a community where stories come to life.
This is Storybook Radio.
Chapter 25. Phoenix stands at the base of the hill, his gaze locked on the daunting incline ahead. The jagged summit looms high above, its needle-like peak shimmering under the harsh light. The boulder beside him radiates an almost unnatural weight, as though the challenge itself defies the laws of nature. Phoenix plants his left leg back, bracing himself. His hands press against the smooth, unforgiving surface of the stone. He exhales sharply, determination etched into his features. With a grunt, Phoenix leans into the boulder. The resistance is immediate and immense, a force that feels immovable. His muscles strain, veins standing out on his forearms and neck. Sweat beads on his brow, slipping down his temples as he pushes harder. The boulder grudgingly shifts, scraping against the uneven ground with a grating sound that reverberates through the air. The hill's surface offers no mercy, its loose gravel shifting treacherously under his feet. Above, the crowd stirs. A mix of omniscient fans and rebels gathers to witness the challenge. The fans, draped in robes and glowing accessories, cheer for the spectacle, their voices a cacophony of excitement. Meanwhile, the rebels, ordinary people drawn by desperation and hope, watch in tense silence. Some exchange murmurs of encouragement as they inch closer to the front lines, their resolve growing stronger. The divide between the two groups is palpable, their differing loyalties creating an undercurrent of unease. Among the crowd stands Paragon, his serene smile barely concealing his thoughts. His sharp eyes flit between Phoenix and the Omniscient, who reclines on a conjured throne of obsidian. The Omniscient pops kernels of popcorn into his mouth, his detached amusement a stark contrast to the grim determination below. Paragon's hands rest loosely at his sides, but there is an intensity in his gaze, as if he's analyzing every move. Phoenix's struggle intensifies as he pushes the boulder past the halfway mark. Every inch feels like a mile, every step a battle against the screaming protests of his body. His arms tremble, his legs burn, but he refuses to stop. With a final burst of strength, he forces the boulder higher. His muscles strain to their limits, and for a brief moment, it seems the impossible might become reality. Then his heel slips. The ground beneath him shifts, loose gravel skittering down the incline. Phoenix falls hard, the impact jarring through his body. Pain shoots through his twisted ankle, and he grits his teeth, refusing to cry out. The boulder halts its progress, teetering dangerously as though mocking his efforts. For a moment, all he can hear is the rapid pounding of his own heart, drowning out the murmurs of the crowd. "Phoenix, get up!" Valerie's voice cuts through the air, sharp and urgent. She stands at the sidelines, her hands clenched into fists. "You can't stop now. There's no time." Phoenix looks up at her, his vision blurred by sweat and exhaustion. He glances at the massive clock displayed above the hill's peak. 33 minutes remain. Gritting his teeth, he forces himself to his feet. Every movement sends a sharp ache through his ankle, but he pushes the pain aside. He turns toward the Omniscient, his voice hoarse. "I need help," Phoenix says. The Omniscient raises an eyebrow, a smirk tugging at the corner of his lips. "Help? From others? Interesting." He pauses, savoring the moment before nodding with exaggerated magnanimity. "Very well. You may have assistance. Let's see if it even matters." Valerie and Dell rush to Phoenix's side, positioning themselves on either side of the boulder. Valerie's hands press against the stone, her determination as fierce as her voice. "Let's do this together." Dell nods, his face pale but resolute. "We don't have time to waste." The three of them push together, their combined strength driving the boulder upward. The progress is painstaking but undeniable, the stone inching closer to the summit. Their breaths come in ragged gasps, their bodies trembling under the effort. The crowd's murmurs grow louder, the rebels cheering them on, while the Omniscient's followers watch with skeptical amusement. Then the boulder slows. Its momentum ceases, threatening to roll back down. Phoenix digs his heels into the ground, his arms quaking as he holds the weight steady. "We need more hands," he shouts. From the crowd, a handful of rebels step forward. Among them is a wiry man with a sun-weathered face, his hands calloused from years of labor. Beside him stands a burly figure with a scar running down one cheek, his shoulders broad and under duress as he presses against the boulder. A younger man, barely out of his teens, trembles slightly but steels himself, determination blazing in his eyes. Without hesitation, they join the trio, their collective strength driving the boulder forward. A shared determination binds them together. The summit draws closer, the impossible feeling almost within reach. The crowd's energy shifts as more people step forward, their courage emboldened by the rebels' defiance. But the boulder resists. Physics turns against them, the incline too steep, the stone too heavy. With a groan that echoes like thunder, the boulder rolls backward. The group scrambles out of its path as it crashes back to the base of the hill, the impact shaking the ground. Dust billows into the air, obscuring the defeated figures momentarily. Above, the Omniscient claps slowly, his laughter carrying over the stunned silence. Oh, how valiant, how futile. He stands, his presence towering as he descends toward them. The massive clock blinks to 0, its finality unspoken but absolute. "Time is up," the Omniscient declares. His golden eyes lock onto Dell, who stands frozen in place. With a casual wave, the Omniscient approaches, draping an arm over Dell's shoulder as if in mock camaraderie. "A pity," he muses. "You had such promise." "No," Phoenix breathes, his voice breaking. He stumbles forward, his injured leg barely supporting him. "Don't." The Omniscient ignores him. With a flick of his fingers, a blinding light engulfs Dell. When it fades, Dell's headless body crumples to the ground, blood pooling around him. Valerie's scream pierces the air, raw and guttural, as she falls to her knees beside him. Phoenix's world tilts, his vision narrowing to the lifeless form of his friend. His chest heaves with a mix of rage and despair, his fists clenching so tightly his nails draw blood. He drops to his knees, unable to tear his eyes away from the gruesome scene. The rebels' earlier defiance dissolves into shocked silence, their faces pale with disbelief. The Omniscient turns back to his throne, his laughter echoing like a death knell. "Let this be a lesson," he calls over his shoulder. "Some tasks are beyond mortals. Better luck next time, if there is one." As the Omniscient ascends, the weight of the loss settles over the hill. Valerie clutches Dell's lifeless hand, tears streaming down her face. Phoenix sits motionless, his jaw clenched, his gaze burning with a resolve that begins to form in the depths of his grief. The rebels look to him, their desperation reigniting into something new, a fragile hope that perhaps, even now, this battle is not over.